All right, hello everyone. My name is Mildred, and I will be your instructor for this course. I'll give a quick introduction of myself and my assistant, and then we're going to go over how the course will be structured and how the lessons will go every week. I'm a senior backend engineer for Python and cybersecurity for GroupSense USA. I'm also the consultant for case-based surveillance for all of the Eastern Caribbean countries. I live in St. Lucia, Caribbean, so I'm talking to you from St. Lucia. I have a background in computer science. My first degree was in mathematical sciences, second in data science, a master's degree in software engineering. I had my first degree in Nigeria and other degrees outside of Nigeria in the US. With me here is Edmond, who is going to be the assistant and the person you will meet most of the time when you have challenges and you need a one-on-one session. So over to you, Edmond.
Thank you. Welcome everyone. My name is Edmond Kabure, and I started as a student here in School of Programming. Prior to my admission here, I had little knowledge about programming, and I was able to learn a lot during my time when I began my lessons here, and it has really given me a lot of opportunities since I joined the School of Programming. I want you to know that you are going to have a great time in school and you're going to learn a lot. So I'll be your assistant tutor. If you need any assistance during the lessons, you can always reach out to me on the WhatsApp group.
And we also have here the admin assistant who is going to deal with most of your login and admin related issues, in person of Pascalina, and I will hand over to you, Pascalina.
Hello everyone, my name is Pascalina Manuli, and I'm your administrative assistant. Just like you, I started as a student and later became an intern. And now I currently landed a job here. So I'll advise you all to be serious with your work, and yeah, a lot of good things will come around. We are delighted to have you in our community. You're all welcome here. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Pascalina. So we're just going to introduce the classroom, the portal, the resources. I won't be going into any of the week's lessons today. We'll do that next Friday to give everyone an opportunity to do all of their installations, report installation problems. So we'll all be on the same page next Friday when we start writing the codes, and no one will be left behind. So the first thing we want to look at now is the school site and how to navigate the site. But before then, let's talk about the course, the duration, and what we're going to learn. So this course is for 30 weeks. I know most of the time in most countries in the world, we have things like learn programming in 6 weeks, learn programming in 3 months, and everybody jumps on it. It's a scam. You can never be a developer in less than a year. And I'll tell you from experience. The reason School of Programming started is to combine the difficulties in software development, why people fail, why we have so many self-acclaimed IT gurus all over the world, but nobody can actually get any job done. And we put all of this into a curriculum to be able to help people who are aspiring developers without any background information or background experience to be able to start from scratch and get somewhere useful in their life. So you can either become an entrepreneur, do your own business, or you can land yourself a job. But we are not going to be teaching frameworks. We are going to teach the language in a way that I don't think you ever been taught, and some in a way that if you get through the 30 weeks, you'll be able to create a software on your own without assistance. We've had a lot of students who have done well and who are able to build systems by themselves after graduation. Now, the reason we have 5 weeks of evaluation is because of the whole misconception about software development, where people think it's just you want to write code. No, we're not writing code. We are building innovators. And so you have 5 weeks to explore to be sure that this is the right fit for you. And that's the reason that there is no financial commitment for the first 5 weeks, so that you can decide if you want to stay or drop out before you actually pay. So for those who will be interested after the first 5 weeks, then you'll now be required to pay to get to 30 weeks. If along the line you realize that this is not what you want, there are other courses you can decide to explore also and switch onto. All our courses are without financial commitment. It's for you to know what you really want first, see how you can cope, and see if you have a passion before you actually commit. And that way you'll be able to not waste your time or your resources chasing what you might not need in the future. The course is divided into 3 parts. We have part 1, which will deal with the basics of MySQL databases, because we'll need that in part 3. In part 2, we're going to go to Python from basics to intermediate level. And in part 3, we are going to combine all our knowledge and look at advanced topics in both Python and MySQL and build a fully functional web application. We have 13 practical assignments. All assignments are compulsory. Grades are weighted. For assignment, it takes 40% of your total score. We have 3 quizzes. Each quiz takes 10%. There are 50 questions MCQ quiz. We have a final project that takes 20% of your total score, and the final exam that takes 10% of your total score. Only those who score 70% or higher are eligible for a certificate and also eligible for open paid internship positions when they become available. By week 3, we are going to unenroll students who have not submitted the first assignment. And the reason is, if you have not been able to cope for the first 3 weeks, you will not likely succeed in the course because you would have fallen behind so far. So we take assignments very seriously and we unenroll students before we get to the payment part. So we have 2 filtering methods. The first method is we filter those that cannot cope first of all after the first 3 weeks. And then after 5 weeks, we remove those who have not paid. So there are 2 layers of enrollment in the course. Now, saying that you cannot cope does not mean you will not succeed in software development. It just means you have to go back, join another batch, or choose something else that you have the time or the dedication to be able to cope with. But we don't want you to waste your time, and we don't want to waste our time either. Okay? The mode of communication is through the WhatsApp group or via email. If you're not comfortable with your phone number, you can communicate strictly by email. Email addresses are on the site and usually in the content for the week. We also have the school site and the classroom. You have access to the classroom and the full resources. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to walk you through the classroom so you don't miss any resource for the course. So can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So the site is school.mildredgroup.com, and then you log in with your account. So if you are here, it means you're already registered, you already have an account, and you can log in with your credentials. So I'll log in as a student. Anytime you are not successful in logging in, you can reset your password so that you are able to log in. For people using Mac, most of the time you always have to verify that you're not a robot. For Windows, I think after first verification, it will let you bypass that. On the left side is a menu. This menu holds several things. We have the course catalog where you can view all of the courses that exist in the school. We do not open all courses at once. We have a school structure. We don't have a structure where anybody registers, pays, and take courses. We have a controlled structure where we open courses every quarter and we let people register only when they are opened, and we have a formal start and end date for everyone. We have formal assignment dates, examination dates, and the same method for every course. We also allow you to register for open courses from your page. So if they're open, any course that is open, you can click on register. And if you have courses that are no longer open, you'll see that session is in progress, it no longer accepts registration. or the course has ended and people have graduated. And this is what that means. When we have jobs and internships that are for students, you will see them populated on this page. Eligibility for internship is only for those who have crossed the first part of the course. And every time there's an internship position, most internships are paid. I think we have 6 interns presently. Most internships are paid. And when we do have them, it's very competitive, and it's only for those who have reached a particular level in the course. So if people taking this course would have at least finished part 1 of the course to be eligible to apply for internship positions. Then you can look at the courses that you've done here, all the courses you are registered for here, and the completion status, if you were withdrawn, if you're completed, in progress, and everything here. If you're on scholarship, paid, payment is pending, you'll find all of your information here along with your registration ID. Now, the registration ID for each course is very important, especially when it comes to payments, and we'll discuss that after 5 weeks when we want to talk about payments. If you want to look at just the courses in progress, you click on in progress and you see the ones in progress, and you want to see the completed courses, you will find the ones you've completed, and you can download your certificate or use your certificate verification code on your CV for job or whatever you want to use it for. Now, the assessment and gradebook, this is a whole different functionality when it comes to taking tests and exams. We'll discuss this. Where you get into the classroom is to come into your registered course classrooms here, and then you select classrooms. You will only find the course you are registered for. Now, take note of your course code. Your course code is Webdev02. You are the batch A of this course. We normally have up to 5 batches in a year, and you are the first batch for this course for the year. And so you click on that course to get into the course classroom. Now, this is where you find all your videos, your assignments, and everything. We have pre-recorded videos every Friday, and then it's followed by a live session like this where we discuss the content and teach you live all of the content in the video, only that this time you are able to ask questions and we're able to go even deeper based on your questions. You always find announcements here. Announcements expire every week, or except if they are set to expire in the future. Take note of your time zone. The time zone for this course is Atlantic Standard Time. So you have to get a time zone converter. I know the time zone for a few countries based on the people who submitted their information on registration. For those in Nigeria, it will be 5 p.m. your time every Friday. For those in Ghana, 4 p.m. For those in Zambia and Zimbabwe, 6 p.m. For those in any part of East Africa, 7 p.m. For the rest of the world, you need to get a time zone converter. For those in Eastern time zone, US and North America, on the Eastern time zone, you are 1 hour behind until March 10th, and then you become on the same time zone as I am. Those in Central time, you are 2 hours behind. After March 10th, you become 1 hour behind. Those in Pacific Standard Time, you are 4 hours behind. After March 10th, you'll be 3 hours behind. So take note of your time zone and how to convert them. So you find announcements on the page. You will find information of the classroom here if you want any information about your instructor or about the course outline or what the course is about and the different parts. When you scroll down, you'll find a table here that shows you the start and end date of each content that is on the page. Now, we have a course resource here. When you click on this, it gives you the notes. If there is any notes or resource for the week, it's uploaded here. So you always want to check every week to make sure your resources are up to date. This resource for this week contains your installation guide. So what we want you to do this week is to go through the installation guide for your operating system and install all you need for part 1 of this course. If you run into problems, please post in the WhatsApp group so we can help you set up your system properly before we start. The last 2 pages of this just gives us notes on the content, introduction to relational database management system, which we will discuss next week along with week 2's content, but we don't want to do that today, so everyone is on the same page after installations are complete and you verify that your system works correctly. So take note of installations for Windows users and for Mac users or Linux users. We also have the lessons parts of the classroom where you find your weekly lessons. Now, this section of it, before you get to watch on YouTube, is the part that tells you what week we are currently on. Now we're on week 1. The lessons are here. You just expand, click on anything to expand, play the video. You can download the video if you want by clicking on this to download and watch later, or you can watch online. Every week, this expires and leaves the page when we start a new week. If you want to watch previous weeks, you can come here on YouTube and watch. The topics are still the same. So the same videos that we have here is the same videos we have here on YouTube. Some people claim that it is very heavy to download from the school site, but it's easier to download on YouTube. So I have both versions for you to choose what works best for you in your country of residence. Assignments are on the right, and take note of the assignment ID. Anytime you have an assignment, if you are printing out the question, make sure you know what the ID is. When you expand the assignment ID, it gives you the file. You can click on view file to download the assignment file. You will find the due date of the assignment, and due dates are hard deadlines. You must submit by midnight Atlantic Standard Time. So for your time zone, it might be morning the following day for those of you in Africa. And so just take note to make sure you don't miss assignment submission. All the submission instructions of assignments are usually specified here, and it tells us exactly how to save your file to submit. When it's time for submission, you come to this house icon here and click on coursework submission. Then you select your course. Remember your course code, which is 02-24A, and then you get class. Now, we have several tabs. What you are interested in is submit assignments. You must select the assignment ID. So if you have 2 to 3 assignments released at the same time, you have 2 to 3 assignment IDs. So this is the assignment ID, is just one. If you submit the wrong assignment under the wrong ID, you'll be graded differently. You will upload your assignment file here. If there's any text you need to enter for the assignment, you enter it here. Now, when we get to part 3, when we use our source code repository, this is where you enter your repository address, but for now, these are optional fields. Then if you have any comments, any notes to the grader, if there's any mistake on your file you want to comment about or explain, you put that here and you click on submit. When your grades are released, when you come to view grades, you're going to see the assignment ID, your grade here, and the grade comments and feedback or correction here. If you don't want to watch on YouTube and you still want to get the videos from the classes that expired, you come to expired classes and select your course also again, and then you see the videos for the course that no longer displays on the page. So all the videos will be available here for downloads if you prefer to download them and go watch later, or you want to watch online. Anyone is okay. When it comes to payments time, you can come here to view my accounts and payments, and this is where you will find bank information, and you'll find an invoice here for those who want to pay via PayPal. Now, if you want to pay via PayPal, make sure that the registration ID and the reference number on PayPal is the same, so that you don't fall for scam emails and you don't click on any link from any email you get from PayPal until you verify those IDs are the same, because PayPal has a lot of scam going on now. If you're not comfortable with PayPal, which I am not comfortable with, but we just want to give you the option, you better you pay by bank deposit or bank transfer, which with all the banking information available here. When you submit applications for internship or jobs when they're open, this is where you come to see if you have been selected and the reason for selection or no selection, or if you have an interview is scheduled here. So you always have to be on the portal all the time. So does anyone have any question? Okay, in the absence of question, this is all the introduction, and we'll start the proper classes next Friday at the same time. We encourage you to watch the pre-recorded videos, complete your installation, come with all of your questions, and we are going to combine week 1 and 2 topics next Friday. Also, don't forget to join the WhatsApp group for faster information, or just always check your emails if there are announcements or information for you to follow. Okay, so you all have a blessed weekend and see you in class next Friday.
Thank you.
Thank you. Same to you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.